Alright guys, we're going to be installing the DXC2 extruder from Fetus. I think that's how you say it. Sorry if I butchered it. But basically, they're going to have some instructions. Looks like it's a couple accessory screws. We're going to be using some of the original stuff, so in case we need that. Here's going to be some extra Allen keys to kind of help you. And then this is going to be the extruder that we're going to be swapping out with the original. So it seems to be a lot better, so they say. So it's going to be how to install this. So basically, first thing we're going to do is, of course, turn off the printer. And then we're going to take out this screw right here, this one right here, and then this screw right here. We're going to take those three out, and then we're going to take and push down to remove the Bowden tube, and then from there we should be able to get this wiggled enough to disconnect the connectors. So I'm going to take all these screws out and then show you what the connector part is. Alright, so as you can see, that screws out. And then it's this one here, and then that one up there, not the one where you take out the front face one. So once you do that, you should be able just to kind of wiggle it a little bit. Sorry if the phone's a little shaky, it's hard to do it with one hand. So it's going to pop out like this, and then you're going to see the motor itself wanting to go with it. And then you see it on this side. There's like connectors and stuff like that. So it's hard to see, but we're going to want to disconnect it right here where the connector is. And then that screw right there, we're going to want to take that off so that the motor itself wants to disconnect. And then we should be able to pop everything right out after we do that. And then take this connector off with the one on the top, like I said. And then that should be it for that, and this entire front piece should come off. So 1 second while I'll do that. Alright, everything's off. One thing to note, I forgot to mention ahead of time, take the screw from the front and the front right here of the front part of the extruder assembly. I forgot to tell you that way the motor can actually come out. Once you do that, of course, take off the Bowden tube. Mine's just stuck, so I'm just gonna have to figure that out in a second, but I'm not worried about that. All right, once you've done taking off the extruder, you want to take a screw, or take these 3 screws out and put the new riser. If you bought the whole kit, it comes with it. They're gonna charge you more, but if not, you can print the correct riser. I'll leave everything in the description below if you need to get the model itself and print it. And so we're gonna unscrew that. This is gonna loosen out, and then we're gonna take one of these links off and put back the new riser. So let me take these 3 off, and then I'll show you what to do afterwards. So again, it's these top 3 screws, and this part will come off. Okay, so this is what the riser looks like. I printed mine in ASA, so it can withstand some heat and all that good stuff whenever I'm printing stuff. It does take some inserts. Again, I'm going to leave everything in the description of the video so that you can find these that I use. There are, I believe, 3 by 4 by 5. Don't correct me on that. I'll definitely get you the right one on the description, but you need to have this on there. Then this is going to be the other part that connects to the top of that, and then we would put that onto here. So this one, it's actually not the original of what the company provides. I'm going to provide both versions of these. Whoops. And this one, it has like the ability to swivel and with the PTFE tube. And then you can actually slot in TPU in through here. It just makes it a little bit easier and run smoother overall. So I opted out to do the upgraded version. Again, you don't have to, and the one that they provide, if you buy it all together, you just use that one, right? So essentially this one will go on top of here like that. It's kind of, again, it's hard to do with one hand, but you get the point. I'm gonna put it on top of there. Just give me a second. All right, so this is what it looks like on top. I didn't screw anything in yet, but it was just gonna kind of give you a visual. So of course, the very first thing we're gonna do is take the bottom base and then just screw in the 3 spots of where we took these out. So these 3 spots, I would just put it over it like this, right? And then this little notch right here will go in the notch there, and then like I said, we would have to remove one of these links, and it's just you lift this right here and then on the other side, and that gives it freedom. And then the little notch thing will kind of fit in here, and it's just fixed one way, so it's really not that bad. And yeah, let me go ahead and do that. All right, so it's on. This is what it looks like from the top. It's the 2 original screws. If you're using the one that came with the kit, you should use all 3. With this one, like I said, it has this swivel one here, so that when I put the Bowden tube in like this and going down, it'll go with it as it moves. And the reason for that is so that it doesn't keep scraping this part and having to replace this more often. So that's why that's like that. And again, TPU going through here, going straight down. These are M3 12 millimeter screws with the M3 4 or 5, I think it's called. Like I said, I'll leave everything in the description, that way you guys will have everything. On the instructions, it was saying M3 screws by 8 millimeters, but they were too small. It didn't actually go all the way down to have this closed. So luckily I have a box of extra screws with different sizes, and the M12 was one that fit there pretty good. So once you do that, everything's all tight, snug. You put all that in there. The next thing to do is to grab your old extruder, and then you're going to want to take off the I don't have it on mine. It's weird, but anyway, there should be a screw on the side usually, and you take that off, and then you would essentially pull this off, because we're going to use the this sensor here and then this sensor here. So give me a second so I can take this off. Okay, so if yours is like mine, then you just basically pry it off. It should come off easy, just like, you know, normal if you had a clog or anything like that. So anyway, the point is that once you separate them, this is what the original is going to look like, and this is the other piece that's normally stuck on here like this, right? So we're going to want to take this screw, and then take the sensor with us, because we're going to repurpose that on the new extruder. And then we're going to take this bottom sensor, take that off, and put it on the new extruder. So let me take this off and then bring the new one and show you where it goes. All right, so I took apart the new extruder. It's literally magnet. So you just pull it apart, and then you get this piece here. Pull this one to the side for now. We're going to put this like this. We're going to grab the sensor, and then we're going to put it in there. Make sure that, oops, sorry. You see the little tabs right here where it looks like where the filament goes? It will go inside of this hole right here. So we're going to flip this like this, and then put that in there like that. Again, it's hard to do it with one hand, but anyway, you kind of get the idea. You put that in there, and then you take the 2 screws from the old one, and then you put it in there. Then after that, you still have the other little sensor, and you want to put that on the opposite side of this. So let me do this one first, and then I'm going to go show you the other one. Alright, so this is what it looks like together. You're going to feel some resistance when you put in the screws. Go ahead and cinch them down, but do not over tighten it, because these boards are very small, and the slightest little flex on them will ruin it for sure. So once you do that, just flip it over on the other side like this, and then you're gonna grab the new one, and it's kind of hard to see, but you see how there's like a little notch right there. This is how you want to do it, and then orient it like that with the connector facing down in there like this, so that's how that goes. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, once you are done putting this in there, make sure you tighten it, that it's not wobbling back and forth and it's too loose, but don't over tighten it because you will mess it up. So this is the other one. This is the one that we did previously. So now it's pretty much ready. The next step is to connect this to the extruder motor itself. Grab the baggie that comes with the kit, well, not the kit, the new extruder, and grab the two small silver screws that are these right here. Grab those two, and we're going to use them to connect the motor. So this corner here is going to go, sorry, this is actually backwards. There we go. So now this top part here, this motor part is going to go there, and then this bottom one here, this side of the motor is going to go there, and it's going to like go in here, so it'll fit nice and snug there. Then this bottom connector goes to this centered back here, and then this one up top is going to be this connector that we took out before. And that's pretty much how you would assemble this part for now. So let me get that done. Alright, so this is what it looks like once you connect the connectors and then you put in the screws. I literally just put it was all together and I pushed it in there. So once it sits there, it'll sit there nice and flush. The next thing to do is to put in the screw here, and then the the third screw right there, and then we're going to use the original 3 from the original extruder piece that we took out. So we're going to use those and replace that. Make sure you first put them loose to make sure you have proper alignment, and then after that, once they're all properly aligned, all 3, go ahead and cinch them down, and then once I do that, I'll show you the next step. Alright, so this is what it looks like, all screwed in. So we got the 2 screws on this side, and then we got the 1 screw right here. The next thing to do is just grab the front piece. Sorry, this piece came out, just give me 1 second. Okay, then we're just gonna grab the front piece of it and literally just snap it on. Alright, there it goes. So once it's on, just kind of double check and make sure that it's sitting flush up top and on the sides. And then that's pretty much it. And from here, you would just want to go ahead and connect your Bowden tube. So I'm just gonna swing mine in through here, push down, and then I'll connect it because it's hard to do it with one hand, but essentially that's how it would look like. I probably will change this one just because this is one of the older ones and I want to keep everything new. But anyway, this is what the completed one would look like. Yeah, they do have a front cover that you have to use. You cannot use the original cover. I'll leave that in the description as well for you to make it, or again, if you bought the kit, it'll come everything all together. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it like this. I never used the cover anyway originally, so I'm fine with this. And then the next step is to go on the computer and do a couple configurations on the printer side. We got to turn everything on, and then I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so after all that stuff, turn on your printer and then look for the IP address under settings. When you connect your Wi-Fi, go ahead and do that. You're going to get a number. You're going to get something like this. Is 192.168.1, and then whatever your numbers are. I just made up 1111. That's not mine. And then at the end, you want to put the 2 dots and 4408. You take those numbers that you get from the printer. The printer is going to give you these numbers like this, but then you add the 4408, and then you put this in your browser on your computer. Once you do that, you're going to get this. It's going to take maybe 2 minutes or so to load. All right, after that, you're gonna want to go over to where it says configuration. You click on that. You're gonna scroll down until you see G-code macro.cfg, and then it's gonna bring you here, right? So we're gonna click Control F, and it's gonna bring up the search bar. We're gonna type in retrude, and then you press enter. It's going to shift everything for you. Now, this is where we're at, and this is right here where we want to change. So we're gonna leave everything the same except for -10. We're gonna change that to -40. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna take that off and put 40. So it's the same thing. We're just putting -40 instead of -10. If you don't have this part here at all, or it doesn't exist, don't worry about it. Skip this step. Once you do that, you go up to the top and you click save. Do not click save and restart, not yet. So click save, right? So once we hit save, we're gonna close it. And then from here, we're gonna go to box.cfg. And then from here, we're going to find where it says TN retrude, whatever your number may be. We're gonna change that to -20, right? After that, now we're gonna hit save and restart. It's gonna say it's not connected, it's rebooting, it's gonna do whatever it's doing over there, and then you're pretty much good to go at this point. That's pretty much how you do the install. After this, you want to go ahead and check to make sure that the filament is actually extruding correctly. Just do like a test print, or just even extrude a little bit. If it's not, go ahead and adjust the knob on the side of the extruder itself. And to show you that real quick is this knob right here. Go ahead and loosen it or tighten it however you need to, just so it can flow pretty nicely, and then you're good to go. So